I got to show folks this. Okay, so, oh my God. So I have one of these in my house. So what is that?
We all have several of those in our house. These are outlet strips, very poorly made, very inexpensive. And for that reason, that's the reason the majority of us have them in our homes. However, this is what happens when they start to fail. Because they are made very inexpensively, they don't hold up when they get overloaded. And even though they have a switch on them, that typically won't trip. And then you're relying on the breakers in your house to trip. And depending on how old the wiring is, that may or may not happen.
Jamie, when you say overloaded, so if it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I put, so it says I can plug 6 things in.
Yeah.
Are you saying that maybe it's not a good idea?
That's not feasible, no. Not for these, specifically these cheaper outlet strips. There are much better outlet strips out there.
How do I know?
For one, they're going to cost you a lot more. These are going to cost you $3 to $6.
Right.
You're going to get into $30, $35. But when you're plugging computers and big screen TVs and DVD players and all that in there, it's worth spending a little extra money. They've got more joules, so they'll take a bigger hit from an electrical overload.
Got it.
Whether it's from the power company or a lightning strike.
So what was, do you know what was plugged into this one?
This was a fish tank.
A fish tank.
A pump, lights, heater, and over time, the homeowner smelt smoke a few times and never really figured out where it was coming from.
Right.
Until this happened, and then we were called. Fortunately, it only got a little bit of the wall and the fish tank stand, etc. The fish did not make it. It was hot enough that...
Do these things, the older they get, the more susceptible they get to burning up?
Heat and cold, heat and cold. As they heat up, drawing juice through them, and then they cool down when they're not. That cycle will wear on the internal components.
Oh,
so this was a house fire that we went to. This did work until we took the battery out because it was screaming, but the people were able to get out safely.
Right.
They kept the fire small because they had early detection.
Right.
Called us quickly. We were there within, I think, like 6 minutes. We were on scene and kept it to one room. But this is what a detector should do for you.
Right.
This should go away, and you are still here. So
let me ask you about age. Someone said they asked me how old mine was because I was looking to get a new one. You know, I'm not even going to tell you because you're just going to curse me.
So the manufacturers are coming out with more and more smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. They're putting the lithium batteries in them and they're claiming that they're good for 10 years.
Right, I read about that.
We have been out to numerous alarms with these new detectors because they're a year or 2 years old and they're going defective. I'm not sold on them yet. I think there still needs to be a little more work. Any detector is better than no detector, and we would rather come at 3 in the morning and have it be a faulty detector than come at 6 in the morning when your house is fully involved and you're still inside it. Smoke detectors, their lifespan is typically 7 to 10 years, at which point they should be replaced, only because the sensor inside starts to wear down and then it doesn't pick up as it should. Batteries should be changed twice a year, at least once a year.
Does the price you pay for the unit dictate quality like we were talking about the strips?
Not necessarily. I mean, they're
it's hard to say.
You can buy the $6 ones. They're going to work. They may not last as long. They'll be on the lower end of the scale, whereas the better ones will last you longer. But all of these don't work without that. And if you don't have one of these, that's not going to work. You're putting your life in jeopardy, your family's life in jeopardy, your home in jeopardy. They've got to have batteries. They've got to be working. We've been to too many fire calls where we get there. There's 6 smoke detectors in there and not a single one has a battery. They're propped open. Even in apartment buildings where it is required by state law. It was chirping, so I took the battery out.
Right, it was irritating.
That's your life that's depending on that.
Do they have to be on the ceiling? Could they be on the wall and reachable?
So the thing with smoke as opposed to carbon monoxide, and carbon monoxide is another detector that is now being mandated to be put in new homes, apartments, things like that. That is as big a killer as fire. Carbon monoxide is the same weight as air, so it disperses, it goes everywhere. It can be, you can put your detector on the floor, it's going to come pick up as well there as it will up here.
Got it.
Smoke, on the other hand, is typically related to heat, and heat always rises.
So you got to put it on the ceiling.
Your detector needs to be at a higher location.
Do units come that can handle both, or do you need?
Yes,
a
they
unit for
do
each?
make combination units, and quite honestly, we have a lot of them that go off. A lot of them now talk. They tell you which side of the detector is going off. Carbon monoxide
Interesting.
present, or
Right.
smoke present. Evacuate the structure.
How many do you have in your house? Now we talked
So
about
extinguishers,
downstairs.
I have 4 extinguishers.
Right.
Smoke detectors, 1, 2, 3. I have 6 in my house.
Wow. So just for folks at home, strategically, where have you placed them?
So there's 1 in the basement,
For the dryer. that
Correct.
we talked about earlier, right?
the dryer and the oil burner.
Got it.
There are 2 on my main living structure and 2 upstairs. You don't want it in the kitchen directly above your stove because every time you open the oven
gonna
and
be
a little
hell.
bit of smoke comes out or
Right.
heat, it's going to set that off. Another problem we have is people put them right outside their bathrooms, and the steam from a shower can actually trigger that
Interesting.
alarm.
And piss you off. And then you
It
take
doesn't
the
piss
bat-
us off.
Well,
We
no,
would
then-
prefer coming and making sure
Oh,
that
no.
it's nothing.
I mean the person, because
Oh,
now I
the
can see
individual.
them removing the battery because it's
Yep,
tripping
and then
again.
it's out because they forget it because they go get dressed and leave for work. Meanwhile, the
Yeah.
toaster downstairs is catching fire and
Right.
out the door they've gone,
Okay, strategic.
or this outlet strip.
Yes. I mean, of all the things you've said today, this terrifies me now.
These are a very terrifying piece of equipment. I would highly recommend replacing those in your house if you have them
Tomorrow.
today.
Today. even
Today.
Today.
Yep.
Any parting thoughts? Just do it.
Just do it. Make sure you have an escape plan.
Yeah.
If one exit is blocked, have another one in mind. You know, we have a lot of 2-story homes around here, but if you open that window and you hang down, you're only 5 or 6 feet off the ground.
Right.
Drop or jump. It's going to be better than staying in a room and getting yourself
Right.
caught in the smoke and the fire. Close the doors. When you're leaving, close the bedroom doors, close the bathroom door. Seal off as many areas as you can because the less oxygen that a fire has to burn, the slower it's going to go and it's going to stay more confined.
Okay.
We can help you more and save a lot more that way.
Cool. Thanks.
And other than that, just be safe.
Thanks, Jamie.
You're welcome.